Well, I am absolutely delighted and overjoyed to come to Atlanta and play and see my girlfriends. I like it down too. I saw it up, I saw it down. I love it. What I'm going to do right now is introduce to you our sponsor for this part of the event. And I got a chance to work with this lady when I did a 6-month Grow Out Challenge on curlynikki.com. She sent me some of her products. Let me just say for the record that the Touche Moisturizing Deep Conditioner is all of that and a bag of chips. Do we still say that, or is that old? All of that and a bag of chips.
It's still relevant.
It's good. It's still relevant. Thank you, because I don't know the new terms. Not down with the people. It's really early for me. I'm on LA time still, so like that's my excuse. But I did put on lashes. Okay, so listen. Jess McGinty of Jessicurl is going to be unveiling her new product launch here. And she chose Fro Fashion Week because last spring was the first time she had ever been to Atlanta, and she came here to Fro Fashion Week. And she just told me back in the green room that her experience with Fro Fashion Week was so positive and so amazing, and that this is where she wanted to do her product launch, and this is where she wanted to come and play and talk to the ladies. And so that's why I'm going to introduce for you right now, Miss Jess McGinty. Come on,
so backwards for you to be introducing me.
No, it's like we're having love.
Really? She's the famous one. Thank you guys. My name is Jess from Jessicurl. So yes, as Kim said, this is my second time at, well, it's only the second Fro Fashion Week. But I did choose to do my product launch here. It's not a product launch, there's no new products, but it's a complete rebranding of Jessicurl. I think you're going to really like it. But before we get to that, you might wonder why I'm here. I know people wonder I'm a little different. I've noticed. It's okay. We can say that, right? Because I know our hair is different, a lot of things are different, but we're actually a lot more alike than we are different. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about a little bit today. I grew up with the most insane hatred of my hair that I don't think a lot of people really could relate to at the time. And it started really young when I was in junior high. This little jerk, Kenny Anderson. I don't know if he's watching this, but you never forget that kid, eh? He sat behind me in English class in 6th grade, and I had very big hair, as I still do, but it stuck out. And he would stick pencils in it to see how long they would stay. They would stay all day. Until, I'm not making this up, I know that's so, but it's true. They would stay until I got home. I would like lie down on the couch or whatever and like get a little lobotomized because this kid had stuck these pencils. And so that started really young, and then I got to high school and I got this really horrible haircut the summer before my freshman year in high school, and it was kind of a cross between Liberace and the Little Dutch Boy. It was like really short and had this sort of wavy dollopy thing, and as it grew back in, it grew out before it grew down, which curly hair tends to do. And so this other real jerky kid, Ron Nicholson, hi Ron, he sat behind me in Spanish class in freshman year, and I don't know what he learned of Spanish that year, because he was really just like spending the entire time watching the growth pattern of my hair, and apparently it was growing out towards him, and, which I can understand. But because of that, he decided that from the back, my head looked like an egg. So he started calling me Egghead, but not because I was smart, but because of the shape of my hair. And since they started that in Spanish class, they translated it, and for 4 years called me Cabeza de Huevos. And I'm not kidding. I totally mean. It really is. Well, but it's okay. I'm over it. Clearly. But that set the stage for some really heavy hatred of my hair. And so, since it was so big, I knew that if it was wet, it took up less space on the planet. So I would go into the bathroom in between classes and wet it down. Well, who has wet hair at noon, you know, on a Tuesday? And so then they started calling me Crunchy and Helmet Head because it was always wet. And it was just, I was like, I can't please you people. And it's just all about my hair. And so what happened in my little 14-year-old brain is you're treating me like you hate me. And it's because of my hair. well, I hate my hair too. So I guess that means I hate me too. And that was it. And I was screwed up for the rest of my adolescence. And so but actually, people think Jessicurl is my first actual hair invention. It's not. I came up with something very innovative when I was like 14 to try to flatten it out. I don't know if anybody here has heard of this before, but I would take a pair of nylons, cut the legs off, sew the legs up, and wear the crotch on my head when I slept to kind of flatten out my hair. And I know, you guys beat me to it. I didn't know you could go buy that. I didn't know it was called a do-rag. I thought I made it up. And I thought I was being pretty smart. And so I would have this like flat hair. You think I made that up. I didn't. I would have this flat hair for the first like hour or two of the day and this big red indentation on my forehead. And somehow that indentation was better than the puffy hair. And yeah, I called it my cap. And only my Betsy, my best friend Betsy, is the only person on the planet who knew about that. And she was the only one allowed to see it. Because it looked ridiculous. It was really literally the nylon crotch. So somewhere, I mean, that's a lot of crap for a kid, for just their hair. And so this is where I'm trying to come from as somebody who clearly has a different hair type. I'm clearly white, you know, but I can understand the psychology of where your hair becomes bigger than your hair, not to make a really bad pun. So somewhere along the way, oh yeah, I remember I think I was telling Kim yesterday, who was I telling? I could have had a lot more fun in my 20s because I would like, one time, his name was Jeff, I just thought of him as the cute blonde boy with the dimples, but he wanted me to come home with him at the end of the bar night, and I didn't have my hair stuff, so I wouldn't go because I didn't want to wake up and have no preparation for the hair. Yeah, so that's an unfortunate miss. I assume. I could totally be wrong. But that's sort of where this all came from. Like, why would I be here? Why did I get so desperate to make my own hair products? And somewhere in my 20s, I realized this is ridiculous. Like, I've spent far too much mental energy hating this part of myself, but also hating myself. And that made me really sad, and I got over sort of that part. And I Googled curly hair. I was like, there's got to be something better than this experience, and I came across naturallycurly.com, which some of you probably have been to. I mean, they have a lot of people, and at that time, that was back in 2002, and so they were very small, and as you know, what they talk about are products. And so and they talk about their shared experiences. And they had been called similar names, like Mushroom Head and Chio Pet and, you know, Brillo Pad. Nobody else seemed to have been called Egghead, though. Somehow, that was my special name. But it was very validating, like other women have gone through this. And so I joined, and what they mainly talk about are products. And none of that worked. It all just was goopy, or it dried it out or whatever, and somewhere along the way I got into a really basic recipe for hair gel made out of flax seeds and thought that would be rad. If I could just make my own hair gel, yes, I'm from California, I just said rad, then I wouldn't be dependent on the beauty industry anymore. And I played around with that for a couple weeks, and then one day I did my hair and it finally looked how I'd always wanted, and I'd made this really ugly concoction on the stove, and I went back to Naturally Curly and was like, oh my god, you guys, here's the recipe for this crazy stuff I just made. And I got all these emails within 24 hours, and they were like, I'm not making hair gel, can't I just buy some from you? And that's how Jessicurl is here today. And so now we've been in business 9 years, and I don't know, some of you have experience with my products and some of you haven't, but it was time for a rebranding. It was time for the packaging to better reflect what we're really all about. And our tagline is, you have the right to remain curly. And to me, that's bigger than just you have the right to remain curly. It's you have the right to like yourself. You have the right to be yourself. It's just ridiculous how all of us, no matter our hair types, no matter our backgrounds, we're told for so long that you're not okay the way you're born. Your hair is not okay the way it comes out of your head. It's ridiculous. And so with that, I would like to show you what we've done. Where's my helper? I need a helper. Okay. With the packaging. And I have, if Glenda comes up, there are samples. Tons and tons and tons of samples. You all might have already seen it. This might be like totally anticlimactic reveal. But make sure to take them. And in that bag with the samples, there's a free shipping code for the website. So everybody loves free shipping. Yes. I know, I love free shipping too. Trust me, I hate that. It's so expensive. But can I do the banner and you can do the table? I think you're gonna like it. So can you do this one? That'd be fun. They'll all knock over because I already knocked them all over. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! So I just want to say that my favorite part is this confident, powerful, curly-haired woman with her arms in the sky and a purple dress. How ironic is that? But this to me is what we are all about as curly-haired women of any type of texture. Throw your hands in the sky. You know, you gotta love it. Yeah! And I have temporary tattoos of this adorable woman. It doesn't even say Jessicurl anywhere. It's just now this will be the Nike swoosh of the curly hair world. But please take one. And if you're spotted wearing one of these over the weekend, you'll be entered to win a confidence collection with the hair therapy wrap. So no pressure, just saying. Stuff. So we're gonna pass these around, and you can smell it. And oh, this is huge too. Sorry, I get very excited. The deep treatment and the touche. If you've used that before, you might have hated the jar that it came in because it would fall in the shower. These bottles are squeezier, and so now those two products come in a bottle now. So that to me personally is life-changing because I have to deal with the inventory. It's life-changing for my staff too. So did we pass them around this way? And tattoos, we can start passing those around if you want. I'm gonna run. My first stop after this is the bathroom to put one of those on because they're cute. You want to pass them? Yeah, let me take it. And I guess I'm done. So thank you for your attention and your time.